Hi all. As you see, I keep my promise and I will have that ready. I made some minor changes since last time, so now I'm putting the tasks you have to do in the order you have to do them. Theoretically, you have finished your survey and interview analysis. That means you have finished 7 folio pages. The next folio page is the outcome page. It is on purpose put in that spot because by page 7, when you concluded your survey analysis and your interview analysis, your research has finished. Theoretically, as we discussed briefly in the class, you can start writing now your findings. You can start writing your research report. This is the outcome of the research. It is you reporting to us the findings of your research. So, since 2015, a new page was created for the folio. We call it the outcome scaffold folio page because actually it sets up the way we are going to use to present our outcome. So you prepare at the same time a folio page that becomes your sketch up, your scaffold for writing your outcome, and it's very easy and useful, of course. So we have a back and forth 7 pages finished with the interview and survey. We're going to make an 8th page. That's our 8th page, the outcome folio page. I'm reminding you, if you go to my folio pages, the 8th page is the outcome sketch up page. Could be a whole page or could be a half page, but it is that sketch up page. And what we want you to do is to use that page and then write your outcome. This way you will have finished theoretically 70% of your grade, and then we want you to go back and reflect on your research, discuss the difficulties and issues, and finalize the 2 pages from the folio, which are page 9 and page 10. And these 2 pages again will help you, will prepare you to write your final component of the research, evaluating how your research has gone, reflecting on that. So these are the next steps we need to take further, and to do that we start with the outcome folio page, page 8 of the folio, and how to write your outcome. Again, the announcement has been placed here. You can click here and find that direct link to the announcement. I'm recording this and I will put the video after the recording in that spot. It's a good idea for you to go through this and watch it as we go through. So this is what I want you to understand, why you need to make that page for the folio. It's very easy. We have a scaffold to follow, and the scaffold is linked there, but you can find the scaffold on 1.1, my 10 folio pages. Sorry about my internet. This is giving you an idea of how you need to write this information. I'm sorry, I should have that opened. We have it in Word for you to download, and this is the first form that was easy. That it's an example here. We want at least this one that has the paragraph, how many words on approximately, and what you will include in that each paragraph. So you're going to say first introduction, and then first finding, second finding, third finding. This is a fairy tale, a story tale, but that's a different kind of things. On this side, I want you to report to us your sources. So evidence and information you can use from your research to prove your outcome. So, for example, use quotes from your interview, use your surveys, make a pie chart, your own pie chart, or the Survey Monkey pie chart. Use good quotes from some readings you have done, or interviewees. So all of them, whatever you claim, they need to have a reference. So this is, again, I'm repeating where you can find that page, and I need to explain to you why we need to do that. So writing up your research findings, first things first, before you start making this page, you need to decide how you can present your outcome. I want you to remember your outcome can be anything. Can be an essay, can be a PowerPoint presentation, can be a Prezi, a website, a magazine, a pamphlet, a product. We have examples of these. If you want to find examples of this, you can either click here or you can go to the research outcome. Here, research outcome page, and you can click and find the examples. So you can have PowerPoint with a voiceover, you can find a Prezi with a voiceover like a video, a website somebody made. The most important thing is that you can really find them here as well. Sorry, I need to go between the sides. You can find it here if you click. So that's what I have hyperlinked there. It is a video of a student of ours last year. She made a PowerPoint presentation and she started talking over to that PowerPoint presentation. She is
I'm a year 12 student, and this is my research outcome on autism, and this is my presentation on autism.
So she's putting voice over that. You can find in the outcome page, you can find the example. I have it here. It's a PowerPoint outcome, the autism, the PowerPoint of this, and I have A grades with the soccer and A minus outcomes, and I will show you how easy it is to make these outcomes. And don't believe that they will be of less quality because they're PowerPoints. It is a different way of presentation. So if I show you how the student has presented the outcome, she has decided and to have 19 PowerPoints slides. So each one of them had a different format. For example, she starts with the theory, what is autism, and she is putting the sources here. Okay, so this is the way she's presenting that. It's very nice. She is presenting whatever she's talking onto the PowerPoint and the sources here, and then she is telling us first the theory and after what the research finding believe on the same question: what is autism? So what autism, where autism is created, caused by. And she has presented that in a great manner. Again, she is explaining what the theory says is autism and what the respondents in the survey believe that it was autism. And she is combining what her research and that source has told her and what the participants or the survey have told her. So you can go and start watching or reading how it has been done, in the same way that soccer outcome was also made with what people believe and what the research says, what the interviews say, as interviewees say as well. I want to show you, though, I'm going to download it so you can see how it works, another one, but it has only 10 slides and it is an A minus. I need to show you how this student has written the voiceover, because this is not a very busy. Remember that one had in each slide written what they're going to say, whereas in this slide we have a little bit of words and more pictures. Yep. So it doesn't say the story on the slide. The story is explained on the PowerPoint, and I will show you a nice other way to put the information there. So this is how we write it if we want it. The student is writing the notes, yes, insert notes, and this is the reading, this is the transcript, and the student is putting the sources as well in that area. So as you see in that slide, explains what muons are and gives us the source, who said what. Everywhere. Doesn't say everything, but this is the narration. This is what the student is telling us when talking. So this is the other way you can write it, and as you can see, when you write PowerPoint presentation, because a mixed mode, you don't need to write 1500 or 200 words. You can go and have only 750 words. This is what is the case here. 750 without the sources, of course. And this, more pictures, it's A minus because a very interesting in-depth research, and that's it. Okay, this student hasn't done any survey, that's why the survey has not been presented, but it is an A minus outcome. Very well presented. So I'm continuing now. We have discussed that you can make a PowerPoint and for the voiceover, or you can make a Prezi. If you want to make a Prezi, I will tell you how to create it. It's easy, it is an online tool. Others have made a website. Please come and see me if you think that you can put on a website. And I can help you how to do it. You can watch this. There are sites that they're very easy to make your own website. Weebly is a very easy one. You just click and drag. Google Sites also, they're very easy to make. If you want, email me and I will make a video on how to make it. Oh, there are already videos out there. So this is what I would like you to understand, that before we do everything, we need to make sure how we are going to make our outcome, what form the outcome will have, because it depends on how my outcome will be in the way my page of the outcome will be. So let me show you, remember the muons, the A minus example. Let me show you how this student actually has made his outcome page. Very easy. He finished his outcome and then copy and pasted on that page the slides. I would like to have the sources, but that did the job. It didn't have all the writing, all the thing that the student has told us, but it gives an information to the marker what it will be included in the outcome, and it is indicative of all the research the student has done. I can show you something that has a very high grade, and I want to see the difference, and something that has a lower grade. This is the page of the outcome from a merit from last year, 2019 at Parfield Gardens. This is the page, so the student is writing here the introduction, what he will put in introduction, and that each one of them are the paragraphs. So first paragraph was this, and he said that he will use here secondary sources. Second paragraph, these sources, he tells exactly which sources, and I like this because it tells me source 1, 2 and 4 from the folio pages, or source 7 and 8. Or here, for example, he will put some things from the information he got from Professor Stefan Lees or from Dr. Martin Dequay. So not only secondary sources but primary sources are used to put these comments here. So for me, it was the best way to have a big picture of what the student was writing and asking them, okay, I want here to put some secondary sources, find that information from that professor and put it there. And I will show you the outcome of that student who is actually following that processes. I want you to remember all these numbers here. You will see how we made them. So remember, that was the Sahara outcome. I will open for you the examples of merits, and I will show you example of a paper with the Sahara, how he compiled that after student has told us this is my outcome. When he ended up writing the outcome, this is what he was able to write. I'm sorry, the internet is downloading, but this abstract and background information was the introduction, and then this is the background knowledge, some pictures there. Again, pictures are very important, and I want you to remember that whatever he told me, that will be source 1, that will be source 2, these are where we put it in here. Okay, we put them in footnotes. I will show you how to do that later. It's very important for us to remember that even if we demonstrate this, we need to give reference and refer to the source to avoid plagiarism, say where we got that from. And this is actually the way you write it. These are the numbers we said that the student will be presenting. And these are the sources. You see, the same source can be 1, 2, 3 times because it's very useful. And I want you to remember he said, I'm going to report what Dr. Lees told me, and he is using a direct quotation of what this interviewer said to him. So I have to have it next to each other so you can see. I hope this is the outcome folio page. Remember, he says primary source. I will use the information from Stefan Lees. You see that there? And this is why it is so easy, because when you write your outcome page, you know, I'm going to write this, this and this, and I'm going to support the argument by this, source 3 and that. And when you're writing it up, this is the source, the waters in the billion, on the trees, yeah? And then Stefan Lees from the interviewer used it. And if you go down here, you will see the same source again, yes? And the Delphi Technique questionnaire, Stefan Research and Development. So this is what I'm going to show you how to do it. This way it is more demanding, and actually it is for the students who go to university but in high demanding classes and courses that they want them to write a lot of papers. I want to show you another easy PowerPoint that got a B plus grade, because I don't want to scare you with that hard work. Your teacher will tell you if you're going to make a PowerPoint or you're going to make an academic report paper. This is a B plus, and I want you to see how little it is. This way the student, if you download, you will see it has again the notes, but this is the easiest way to finish your research outcome quickly. If I downloaded this again, you will see as it was in the previous with the muons, doesn't have too many pages, and it's downloading quickly. It has again the comments, what the student is telling us in here. Yep, and the sources. So it's not hard to write this, it's very quickly, and it is highly reliable, highly gives you a good grade. That's what I want you to understand. It gives you a good grade. Don't ignore it because you're thinking it's not a good one. So this is how we would like you to write your outcome page. I want you to see something. I closed my PowerPoint. I need to open it again to tell you that what I want you to remember is that when you're going to write your outcome, these are the three criteria. The first criterion is that you have to have a clear and concise expression of ideas. So if you are not very good in writing academic papers, it's better for you to go with a presentation. And presentation is easier. Those who are doing English, they know that they have an oral presentation with PowerPoint. Those who are doing English, they know that it is one of their assignments. They have to have an oral presentation. So don't underestimate it. At uni, you will be asked to do group work in oral presentation, so it's a way of assessing. The idea is that you have to express simply, clearly, with arguments, your concepts. The two criteria that you have to look after is the synthesis and information of your research findings, where you really need to tell us what you believe and what you found and where you found, and if you can answer your research question, that's the most important thing. If I go to the PowerPoints I opened before, the muons, for example, the student here is presenting the answer to the research question, how I can use 3D printing or scans or muons to improve understanding of Egyptian culture. And that's what he's explaining us here, how the muons actually make an X-ray of a pyramid, and how they identify the vacuum in the pyramid, and how they know where to drill to find the inside of the pyramid. So this, or how they can use the CAT scan before opening a mummy to see how they can understand the Egyptian culture, how, for example, they do the mummification. So the point I want you to remember is that you really need to answer your question. So you have to synthesize your findings. I also remind you the way the student has done the autism. Let me open the autism outcome. I hope I have opened it. No, it's not here. But if I open the autism outcome, you will see that the way she synthesized the findings are easier. She has the research here, survey here. Survey, research, direct quotations. what research says about what is autism and how it's created, and what research says that we can use to help autistic children to learn better, and what the people believe on this, and examples of this practice where the autistic child is learning in a visual way. So all these research findings are presenting, synthesizing to the best way the outcome. The last but not least I want you to remember is that you have to substantiate your key ideas and findings, which means you have to triangulate. We say all the time, you have to triangulate your findings. You have to tell me what your research tells you, your literature review, your readings, what the interview expert said, and what the survey person, the general public, told you. So remember, we said that in the class you have a sub-question in your Lotus diagram, sub-question 1, 2, 3, 4. You use each of the sub-questions to find a secondary source, and you use the sub-questions for your interviews, and use the sub-questions to make your survey questions. So now you say, okay, let's compile them, let's put them together. What my secondary source says about sub-question 1, what it says about what the interviewee said about sub-question 1, what the public believes of sub-question 1, you put them together, that's your finding. You can write simple as research says, interviewee such and such said that, survey people said that and that. Easy as this, and you will get a very high grade. Because I want you to remember, criterion substantiation means that you not only triangulate your findings, what each one of the sources said, but actually this way you make each sub-question valid and reliable. It's not only you who said something. You have your survey to prove it, you have your interviewee expert to prove it, you have your secondary sources to prove it. So it's not a claim, it is evidence. So this is what I want you to remember. I show you examples of an essay in a PowerPoint. Go back again and see the example. I show you how to make the PowerPoint. I show you how to compile your findings. I show you how to reference your sources. Again, I'm reminding you, this is a nice way to reference the sources. Okay. The other way we have to reference the sources here, it is reference the source on each slide. Good way as well. Just highlight it, make it yellow so that people know, the marker can see. And at the end, I would like you to make, sorry about this, at the end of the paper, I would like you to make a conclusion, and I need you to make sure that you have in every slide a source. Students are very clear on this. Even here, every slide has a source. Whatever you say needs to be backed up. It's not you who say, it is your research, and this is the evidence that you have done research. So this is what I would like to remind you on how to write the PowerPoint. In the essay, we discussed the example of that Sahara paper, but you can find all the other examples. All the examples are here. I can even show you, the easiest is this, B+. I don't have a C+ grade, because even this, like 6 slides, yeah, it is a very nice way to get papers. I want you to see easy written pages, Folio pages. This is somebody who worked on a belly dance I don't want you to think that you have to write much. This is the minimum. Paragraph 1, paragraph 2, paragraph 3. I'm going to write this, and that's how I'm going to do it. Yep. If you like it, you can use that as a B+. And even easier is this one on nicotine, a whole page. I will show you the difference between the B+ and the C+. This is the C+, a whole page on this, not much writing, very generic, primary interview survey, very generic, whereas here we say the journal from Professor Marika Tigerman, Christmas pageant website, so it's very more specific, plus this is having more reflection on the capability, whereas this one has a little bit on capability, a little bit less. That's why the difference of the B+ and the C+. So it's very easy to go about this, and then you know how to write, how you're going to put your things on the PowerPoint slide. I want to remind one more time that new on PowerPoint page after. So I would advise you to make easy your life. You can put here slide 1, I'm going to write this, and the sources you're going to use, slide in writing, half of the page, and then when you finish your outcome, you can put some slides, and you can be more than A-. So I hope this is what you needed to write your outcome. Please remember that when you do the referencing, you need to use this student guide which is made by SAYS, how to reference correct, and I would like 5 more minutes to explain to you what's the difference between in-text referencing and what it is, the footnoting. When we call in-text referencing in Harvard, students are confusing that. So in-text referencing, I'll tell you what SAYS considers in-text referencing, is this. This is in-text referencing. So you write something, you have a direct quotation, and you put in-text referencing, identify who said that. Here, we prefer, instead of having this, because it doesn't give me a lot of information, instead of having this, I prefer you to go and enter a footnote for me. I'll tell you why. I need to find the source, because everything will be online. As they will be online, they really need to see your sources. So this is the paper we sent last year. This is 15 out of 15. The student was doing a source. Whatever he's writing here, instead of having the in-text reference like Oliva 2019, he's choosing to put the lot. So by putting here the lot, Guerra, planning, Journal of Education and Planning, he actually is adding a wow factor for the marker. He sees all these direct quotation, all these sources from the government, from a research paper, from Australian Bureau of Statistics, and if we go further, you see the direct quotation from Mr. Hewitt. He didn't put brackets and the name, but he says this is the 12 project delivery manager interviewed by this person, and it gives you the information they want to see. So 17 article here doesn't, instead of saying Martin 2019, he put that so people can actually go and click and see the article, and they're doing it. I'm doing it personally, and so they can see how strong research this person has done, because this is the author. Yes, this is the author of a very important paper, or here, yeah, or research insights. So please do that. Please put the lot and make sure that you will take the best you can. Yes, the best grade you can. It's not hard to do a reference like this. I'm clicking here. You can go cite this. For me, it is a extension, and you can choose the system you want. I prefer you to use the APA. It is much better. It is easier. So you can put it here, cite this for me, and you can use it in every other subject. Yeah, and it will cite whatever you want and make your bibliography for you. Before I go further, I would like to open a Word document. Sorry about this. And I want to show you how we're going to put the footnotes. It's the same on the Google Docs. You have to go insert footnote. I will show you in Google Docs. So you write something here, and in the Word document you go references, and you put insert footnote, and automatically it changes the footnote. I'm going to highlight it on purpose because I want you to see the magic that's happening. So you put here, and I'm going to make it smaller, and you enter something and you write here Z, insert references, insert footnote, second footnote, that will be Z. I'll show you here, and the Z I want to highlight it green. Sorry. I have a reason I'm spending your time here, but I want you to see. So this is the H and the Z, the H and the Z, and if I change my mind, if I go and write A here, B, C, and I decide that I have to change this, and I put on the C I put insert number 3, and the 3 becomes, sorry, Control Z, blue. Okay, this is my C, which is blue. Remember, first was yellow, then green, then blue. If I decide that I want to change the order and I want to put that there, sorry, this there, and I want to put that there. I'm sorry, my mouse is not working very hard. So copy and Control V, paste here. I want you to see that this stays 1, this becomes 4, and if I delete that, because I took it and I put it somewhere else, my Z becomes number 1 and my old number 3 becomes number 2. So check it out, check that change. The Z first, and the H, my yellow, became last. So the system is organized by itself. Let me make it smaller so you can see it. So I want you to see it in real life. If I put it there, you see, I'm putting another order underneath, and if I delete that from there, the order becomes this. Please use that function because once you finish, your teacher may ask you to make changes. You don't want to by hand enter the footnotes and then lose them. Students are making this mistake, and it is a terrible, terrible mistake. I promise that I will show you how to do the same on the drive. So on the drive, I need to open a document. Sorry. So I need to go a new. It takes ages. I think everybody is using a new Google Doc. And you can do the same when you make slides. Okay. So it's in the insert function. I'm writing something here. And if I go insert, oh, it's not here. I don't know why. I think it is here. I'll find it. I'll find it where it is. I don't know why it's not here. I'm sorry. Insert. Oh, footnote. Here it is. I'm sorry. Footnote. Here. It was always there. So you put footnote. It's the same way. Yep. Same way. Yep. So I'm sorry, my eyes are not helping. The same way as it works with a Word document, it is happening with the Google Docs. That will save your life. And then I go V and I put an insert footnote 2. Again, if I copy and paste this, Control C, and I put it there, Control V, it adds it again. That's it. We will see how we go. So thank you for this. I hope it helped you to write. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me, especially if you want to have your outcome in the format of PowerPoint, more with voiceover. You can use Loom to record it. Loom is very easy. I can show you how to do it, but it is an add-on. So you click here and you can choose, you record only your screen, you can see your voice, start recording, it saves on your Google Drive. And you can download it as VLC, or you can download as MP4, you can send it to SAYS if you want it. So this is what I would like you to go start doing. It is important for you to have, for your mind and for your well-being and for managing your stress, it's very important to finish your outcome Folio page and your outcome itself before we start next term, because then you're done. You have to finish some Folio pages and start writing your review and evaluation, and research project is out of your way. Thank you for watching the video. I will save it and upload it in that spot.